Let the record reflect the presence of the following senators by order of arrival. Senator Bato de la Rosa. Myself, Senator Rapi Tulfo, Senator Erwin Tulfo. Ang sabi yata sa rules, Director General, pag kami dalawa na rito, okay na tayo, di ba? Kahit naman ang Diyos, sinabi niya, pag may dalawa na, nasa gitna ako, pwede na kayo mag-umpisa. Distinguished colleagues, the first order of business is to formally organize the Blue Ribbon Committee as we begin our work in the 20th Congress. Under Rule 10, Section 13, Subsection 2 of the Rules of the Senate, the committee shall have the jurisdiction on all matters relating to, including investigation of malfeasance, misfeasance, and nonfeasance in office by officers and employees of government, its branches, agencies, subdivisions, and instrumentalities, implementation of the provision of the Constitution on nepotism, and investigation of any matter of public interest on its own initiative or brought to its attention by any member of the Senate. Under the same rules, the committee shall be composed of 17 members, and the following senators were duly elected as members of the committee. First, Senior Vice Chairman, Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, Vice Chair Bato de la Rosa, Senator Bato de la Rosa, Vice Chair Senator Bongo, Vice Chair Senator Erwin Tulfo. As members, Deputy Majority Leader J.B. Ejercito, Senator Aquino, Senator Gatchalian, Senator Lapid, Senator Marcos, Senator Padilla, Senator Pangilinan, Senator Rapi Tulfo, Deputy Minority Leader Subiri, Deputy Minority Leader Ontiveros, Senator Lacson, Senator Ligarda, and the following are ex officio members: Senator President Pro Tempore Jingo Estrada, Majority Leader Joel Villanueva, and Minority Leader Vicente Soto III. The committee will conduct inquiries or investigations in aid of legislation in accordance with the pertinent provision of the rules of the Senate and the rules of procedure governing inquiries in aid of legislation as amended. We now proceed with the consideration and adoption of the rules of the Blue Ribbon Committee that will guide our committee in its operations and conduct of meetings, hearings, and investigations. Before the members of this committee is a copy of the proposed rules, which are the same rules adopted by the Blue Ribbon Committee during the 19th Congress. Do I hear a motion to adopt these rules?
I move to adopt the rules, Mr. Chair.
I second the motion, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. There is a motion on the floor as well as a second. Is there any objection? There being none, the motion for adoption of the rules hereby approved. These rules shall govern all proceedings, meetings, hearings, and investigations of this committee during the 20th Congress. Magandang umaga po sa lahat ng naririto ngayon sa pag-uumpisa ng ating pagdinig sa isang pinaka-controversial na paksa. Ang usapin patungkol sa mga flood control projects na pinagmagatang The Philippines Underwater. On August 11, 2025, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. disclosed deeply troubling findings from an initial government review of flood control projects implemented so far during his administration. The President revealed that only 15 contractors have cornered approximately 100 billion worth of flood control projects, representing 20% of the total 545.6 billion pesos allocated for some 9,855 flood control projects from July 2022 to May 2025. The Senate Blue Ribbon Committee convenes today for this motu proprio inquiry into serious allegations of malfeasance, misfeasance, and nonfeasance concerning the award and implementation of flood control projects that have been disproportionately concentrated among a select group of contractors. Napapanahon na para alamin at himayin ang katotohanan sa likod ng mga maanomalyang nakapalibot sa mga kontratang inilaan para sa flood control. Tama na ang pagpapaikot at paglihis sa tunay na problema. Tungkulin natin ngayong bigyang linaw at sagot ang mga kababalaghang nangyayari sa mga kontratang pinasok ng gobyerno at ang mga private contractors. The root of the issue before us boils down to the rampant corruption entangled with the core of our government. Tila sakit na kanser na siyang unti-unting sumisira sa ating bansa. Records will show that billions are spent every year to fund flood control projects that are supposed to control or mitigate flooding in our country. The magnitude of this issue cannot be understated. Funds are wasted over questionable projects. Lives and properties are lost due to failures in flood control. Enough is enough. Pagod na ang mamamayang Pilipino na lumikas mula sa kanilang mga tahanan sa maghakot ng kagamitan upang makaligtas sa panganib na dulot ng rumaragasang tubig. We should not accept this misfortune simply as effects of climate change. It will never be a valid justification for our failure to provide strong and protective shields against something inevitable but preventable. The Netherlands is 25 to 30% below sea level. Yet its innovative people gifted the world with engineering solutions to flood problems. We have a choice. Either we adopt the best practices of the Netherlands or we settle a poor copy of Venice in the Orient. As members of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, we're duty-bound under the Constitution to conduct inquiries in aid of legislation. Our mandate extends beyond mere investigation. We must examine whether existing laws and regulations governing public procurement, project implementation, and infrastructure development are adequate and properly enforced. The potential violations under scrutiny include government procurement laws, Republic Act 3019, Republic Act 6713, and various DPWH and DBM procurement guidelines and circulars. The committee seeks to, number one, establish the facts surrounding the concentration of flood control contracts among 15 contractors and beyond, if warranted. Two, examine compliance with procurement laws, regulations, and due process requirements. Three, investigate probable irregularities in bidding processes, technical specifications, and project awards. Four, assess the quality and effectiveness of completed flood control projects. Five, identify systemic weaknesses in government procurement and project monitoring. Six, determine accountability for any malfeasance, misfeasance, or nonfeasance. Number seven, recommend legislative measures to prevent similar occurrences and strengthen oversight mechanisms. The committee shall conduct these proceedings guided by the following principles. Transparency. All proceedings shall be conducted in full view of the public with complete documentation and live coverage where appropriate. Due process. All resource persons and parties shall be afforded their constitutional rights, including the right to counsel and protection against self-incrimination. Impartiality. This committee approaches this inquiry without predetermined conclusions, committed only to uncovering the truth based on evidence and testimony. Public interest. Our primary consideration is the protection of public funds, the delivery of effective flood control solutions, and an end to the suffering of the Filipino people. During the course of this inquiry, we expect to hear from officials from the Department of Public Works and Highways, representatives from Department of Budget and Management, recommendations from then Commission on Audit, representatives from the 15 contractors identified by President Marcos Jr. in press conference dated 11 August 2025. We shall examine procurement documents and bidding records, project implementation reports and certifications, financial records, comparative analysis of project costs and effectiveness. Hindi madali ang usaping ito. Hindi ko rin nanaising patagilin ang pagdinig tungkol dito. Hindi ito plataforma para magpasikat o magpalakas tayo sa mga tao. Lalong hindi ito pamumulitika o pagsira sa reputasyon ng kahit sino. Nais ng kumiting ito na gawing makabuluhan at produktibo ang bawat pagdinig ng ating gagawin. May I remind our resource persons to cooperate fully and answer truthfully. And please don't be too smart. Confucius said that if you are the smartest person in the room, then you are in the wrong room. I request my colleagues to efficiently manage our time as we clarify matters from our resource persons. Let us veer away from repetitive statements and questions that may unnecessarily prolong our inquiry. We owe it to our people. Tandaan natin na bawat dam o dike na itinatayo ay galing sa pera ng bawat Pilipino. Bilang mga mambabatas, responsibilidad po nating magsulong ng mga kaukulang batas na makapagpapabago sa mga nakalakaran sa gobyerno para sa ikabubuti ng bansa. Hindi tayo narito bilang hukom na uusig sa mga naglipanang kawatan, kundi tungkulin nating alamin at usisain ang pinaggagamitan ng ating pinasang tao ng budget. It is our duty to get to the bottom of this. Kahit sisirin pa natin ito kung kinakailangan. No stone shall be left unturned and no one shall be spared. Pagtulungan po nating hanapin ang katotohanan at tuluyang makapaglatag ng epektibo at pangmatagal ang solusyon sa suliranin natin sa pagbaha. Kahit mahirap o tila imposible, pero sa tulong ng bawat isang Pilipino na may pakialam at pagmamahal sa kanyang bansa, ito ay tiyak nating may pagtatagumpay. Maraming salamat po. I now declare this hearing officially open. I direct the Director General to please call the roll.
With your permission, Mayor, Mr. Chair, may I proceed with calling the roll?
Please proceed.
From the Commission on Audit, Attorney Gabriel Cordoba, he's represented by Tracy Ann Sunico, OIC of Director 3. From the Department of Budget and Management, Secretary Pangandaman confirmed her attendance, but she will arrive a little later. In the meantime, she will be represented by Yusek Rolando Toledo and Yusek Abuel. Director Maria Crescencia D. Sunga from the Budget Management Bureau A, BMB-A. From the Department of Public Works, Secretary Manuel Bonoan, Senior Undersecretary Emil Sadain, Undersecretary Eugenio Pipo, Assistant Secretary Loretta Malaluan, Assistant Secretary Constante Llanes Jr., Ms. Luz De La Rosa, Director Internal Audit Service, Regional Directors Gerard Opulencia, NCR, Roselier Tolentino, Region 3, Jovel Mendoza, Region 4A, and Regional Director Virgilio Eduarte, Region 5. From the National Mapping and Resource Information Authority, DNR Nambria, Engineer Glicerio Yare. From DOST Pag-asa, Dr. Nathaniel Servando. From Metro Manila Development Authority, Attorney Romando Artes, who will be arriving late because he has a court hearing at this hour. Already here. Okay, thank you. The construction companies, Mr. Alex Abelido, President, Legacy Construction Corporation. Can you raise your hand? Present siya dito. Ms. Cesara Discaya, an invitation was sent to her, but she sent an excuse letter saying that she had a prior commitment. Ms. Maria Roma Angeline Rimando, she cannot attend because she's still suffering from grief due to untimely demise of her foster mother parent. Mr. Alan Kirante, QM Builders, there. Mr. Ernie Bagao, owner proprietor EGB Construction Corporation. Mr. Iumir Villanueva, president of Top Notch Catalyst Builders Inc. He cannot attend because he has a previously scheduled medical procedure today at the Asian Hospital. Mr. Lawrence Lubiano, president Centerways Construction and Development Inc., represented by attorney Regidor Ponferrada. Ms. Aderma Angeli Alcazar, president CEO of Sunwest Incorporated. She cannot attend. She sent a letter stating that she is currently on scheduled leave to attend to personal family matters abroad. She avers that she left the country on 13 August 2025 and will not be able to make it back to the Philippines in time for this hearing. Mr. Edgar Acosta, High Tone Construction Development Corporation, an invitation was sent but we have not received a reply as of this moment. Mr. Wilfredo Natividad, owner general manager, 888 Construction and Supply Inc. Mr. Romeo Miranda, president AMO Royal Crown Monarch Construction and Supplies Corporation. Invitations were sent, but no reply has been received yet. Mr. Mark Alan Arevalo, Wawaw Builders general manager. An invitation has also been sent, but a reply has not been received so far. Ms. Marjorie Samidan, she cannot attend, but she will send a representative. This is the authorized managing officer of MG Samidan Construction. There. He is represented by Mr. Cliff Samidan. Mr. Luisito Tiki cannot attend, requests that he be excused from attending today's hearing due to health reasons, and since they received the invitation late afternoon of 18 August, they will not be able, and it will not be possible for them to complete its review of the possible projects to determine who to send as representative. And last but not least, Mr. Ryan Willie D. Uy, President, Road Edge Trading and Development Services. Before I end, Mr. Chair, may I also be allowed to recognize ASEC Mary Ann de la Vega of the Department of Budget and Management. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chair,
Before
Before-
that, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Senator J.B. Hersito and Senator Mark Villar. Yes, Senator Bato?
Mr. Chair, may I move for the issuance of subpoena to those absent invited resource persons, particularly yung mga contractors, Mr. Chair, to require them to be present in the next hearing. I so move, Mr. Chair.
I think the motion is in order. No objection? The motion is carried.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
May I ask the Director General to the number of invitations sent to the 15 invited contractors, as to how many successfully presented themselves today or at least sent representatives?
Your Honor, we sent 15 invitations to 15 contractors.
And how many replied to your invitation?
One, 11 replied, Your Honor. And of the 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are represented here, either by the owner himself or by a representative, Your Honor.
So seven out of 15 are represented today in this hearing, Mr. Director General.
Yes, Your Honor.
And the rest simply replied, but did not send representatives.
Yes, Your Honor.
I just hope this is not the sign of disinterest on their part, because this meeting is called precisely to get to the bottom of this problem. Yes.
Mr. Chair, siguro pag when we invite them, I mean not invite, subpoena them next hearing, they have to come up with a reasonable answer. Hindi ho yung may sakit, may nauna, para hong ginagago itong committee natin na may sakit, nagbakasyon na, may mga prior schedule. Ano mas importante, prior schedule, Mr. Chair? Or itong investigasyon ito, because 544 billion na pinag-uusapan natin, not a small change, Mr. Chair. Yun lang po.
Manifestation is noted. May I remind the representatives of private lawyers of our resource persons present here today, pwede po kayong relax muna kayo at huwag kayong aalis. I will now direct the Director General to acknowledge the presence of our resource persons and thereafter administer the oath to them.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. May I proceed? Those who have been invited here, kindly please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding? Thank you. You may take your seats. Mr. Chair, for the record, they all said yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Director General. I acknowledge the presence of Senator Gatchalian and Senator Bongo. The President of the Philippines made initial observations and findings in regard to the subject matter of the present inquiry. The amount of some 100 billion pesos, or 18% of the entire 545 billion budget for flood control projects between July 2022 to May 2025 was awarded to only 15 out of 2,409 accredited contractors in the country. Question: is this statement of the President fair? Silence means acquiescence. So, Chairman notes that all present today agrees to the statement of the President. And the 15 contractors referred to were invited as early as Last Saturday, Director General. Friday, and on at least 7 of them replied and sent representatives this morning. Legacy Construction Corporation, Alpha and Omega General Contractor and Development Corporation, St. Timothy Construction Corporation, QM Builders, EGB Construction Corporation, Top Notch Catalyst Builders, Inc., Centerways Construction and Development, Inc., SunWest, Inc., Heto Construction and Development Corporation, 888 Construction and Supply, Inc., Royal Crown Monarch Construction and Supplies Corporations, Wawo Builders, MG Samidan Construction, LRTK Builders, Inc., and Road Edge Trading and Development Services. These 15 contractors were mentioned by the President. The President also noted that 5 of these 15 contractors have projects in almost all regions nationwide. He mentioned Legacy Construction Corporation, Alpha and Omega General Contractors and Development Corporation, St. Timothy Construction Corporation, EGB Construction Corporation, and Road Edge Trading and Development Services. Is the President correct? Your silence is also acquiescence. So the President fairly reported this accurately. Wala pong problema so far? The President also noted that there appears a mismatch between the most flood-prone areas based on National Adaptation Plan of the Philippines 2023-2025. Kasi yung mga flood-prone areas nasa ating National Adaptation Plan of the Philippines. Ito po yung mga probinsya ng Pampanga, Nueva Ecija, Pangasinan, Tarlac, Bulacan, Metro Manila, Maguindanao, North Cotabato, Oriental Mindoro, and Ilocos Norte. These are the flood-prone areas. As opposed to the top 10 provinces awarded with the highest number of flood control projects by the DPWH. Bulacan, 668 flood control projects. Cebu, 414. Isabela, 341. Pangasinan, 313. Pampanga, 292. Albay, 273. Leyte, 262. Tarlac, 258. Camarines Sur, 252. Ilocos Norte, 224 flood control projects. This shows that only 4 among those considered flood-prone areas ang nandito pong nabigyan ng kaukulang mga projects. The rest ay wala po sa flood-prone areas. This is the initial observation of the President. Is his observation fair enough to you? Meron po bang gustong kumontra sa observation ng President? So silence is acquiescence. Ang sabi pa ng Pangulo, more than 350 billion or 6,021 flood control projects do not specify the exact type of flood control that is being built. Halimbawa po, kung repair works yun, o kaya cut-off channel, o dikes, o drainage structures, flood mitigation structures, retarding basin, revetment, slope protection spur dikes, waterways, or embankments. Walang ganun eh. Sabi niya, hindi mo lang dinidescribe ito eh. 350 billion worth of projects defy basic description. Or 6,021 flood control projects. Many of these projects are in different locations but have exactly the same contractor and contract cost. This is disturbing. This is one of the initial observations of the President.